the Lavender Witch, and the Captain. Captain David Balfour stood at the helm of his dreadnought, the Dominion, a cobalt blue titan in the black sea of space. Outside, a chaotic dance of light and fury. "Steady now," he murmured, his fingers ghosting over the weapons console. "Keep those Talon lasers firing, but watch the Celestial." He was careful not to hit the magnificent, ethereal space whale that drifted serenely amidst the chaos. Upon the great whale's head stood Kelvin, the Lavender Witch. Her hands were raised, weaving a shimmering bubble of violet energy that enveloped both her and the gentle giant. Wasp missiles from 3 strange, aggressive alien ships hammered against the shield, exploding in silent, harmless bursts of light. The bubble held, a testament to her power. Kelvin's eyes narrowed. With a graceful, deliberate motion, she thrust a hand forward. A beam of pure lavender fire erupted from her palm, lancing across the void. It struck one of the alien vessels, which vanished in a silent, violet implosion. "Good work, Kelvin," David roared from his command chair. "My turn." He slammed his fist down on a console. "Fire a Red Wolf." From the belly of the Dominion, a huge missile launched, streaking past the whale. It bypassed the second alien ship's shields, as if they were mist, and blew the vessel to glittering dust. The final alien ship, seeing its comrades destroyed, fired 2 last desperate missiles. They exploded against the dreadnought's basalt shields, but the mighty ship didn't even shudder. With its griffin cannons, the Dominion crippled the attacker, which fled into the darkness. David expertly maneuvered his ship closer to the space whale. Kelvin flew on her broom to the whale's massive head. "Are you all right?" she asked softly. A voice, ancient and calm, echoed not in her ears, but in her mind. "I wish only to go home," it said. "But these objects keep hurting me. They want to harvest my ethereal energy for their ships of battle." Kelvin's heart ached. "That's horrible," she whispered. "Where is your home?" Back on the bridge, alarms blared. The warp console flashed with ancient, unreadable symbols. "Captain," an officer yelled. 2 massive contacts emerging from subspace. Through the viewport, 2 colossal alien capital ships materialized, dwarfing even David's dreadnought. They were heading straight for them. The enemy ships unleashed a torrent of venom cannons. "Activate cyclone shields. Fire everything," David commanded. For over an hour, the battle raged, a maelstrom of destruction. Then, one of the capital ships, overwhelmed by the onslaught, exploded in half. "One down," David yelled, a grim smile on his face. "It's 1-on-1 now. Come on, you fiends." His own shields were nearly depleted. He slammed his fist on a large red button. All over the dreadnought's hull, hidden bays opened, revealing hundreds of high-grade Sentinel railguns. "Fire!" he roared. The railguns fired, launching glowing balls of antimatter. The remaining capital ship's shields shattered, and the vessel was decimated. Silence fell. David slowly guided the Dominion back to the whale, where Kelvin was already reinforcing her lavender shield, a beacon of calm in the aftermath of the storm. David opened a channel, his voice strained. "Kelvin, are you and the big fellow okay? We took a beating." From the whale's head, Kelvin looked back at the Dominion, its cobalt hull scorched and pitted. "We're safe, David. But your ship..." The whale's voice filled their minds, a low thrum of sorrow. "They will not stop. The great harvester is coming." A chilling vision flooded their consciousness. A ship not built, but grown. A monstrous fusion of black metal and pulsating organic matter, vast enough to swallow moons. As if summoned by the vision, reality tore open. A wound in space-time bled darkness, and from it emerged the great harvester. It was a leviathan of biomechanical horror, its hull crawling with a sickly green light. The Dominion was but a gnat in its shadow. "Status report," David barked, his voice tight. The replies were a death knell. "Shields are gone, Captain. Main power is failing. We have no weapons that can even scratch that thing." Despair began to settle like a shroud on the bridge. "David, Kelvin's voice cut through the panic, calm and resolute. "You must go. Take your crew and flee. I will hold it here as long as I can." David stared at her image on the screen, his heart a cold knot of dread. "Don't be ridiculous, Kelvin. We're not leaving you." "You have no choice," she said softly. Kelvin closed her eyes and drew upon every ounce of her being. The lavender bubble around the whale began to pulse, growing brighter and larger, expanding into a radiant sphere of incandescent violet light that pushed back against the void itself. The harvester responded. A maw of darkness opened on its prow, and from it shot a beam of absolute nothingness, a wave of entropy that consumed light and energy. It struck Kelvin's shield, and the soundless impact sent shockwaves through the fabric of space. Cracks of black lightning spiderwebbed across the lavender sun. Kelvin screamed, not in her throat, but in David's mind, a raw cry of pure agony and effort. The shield was failing. Her power, as vast as it was finite against such a void. "No," David roared, slamming his fist on the console. "Helm! Bring us about. Get us between her and that beam. Now!" The crew stared at him, shocked. "But Captain, our shields are gone. We'll be vaporized. I gave you an order." The cobalt blue dreadnought, battered and broken, swung its massive frame into the path of the entropy beam. On the bridge, David stood tall, watching the wave of utter annihilation approach. He closed his eyes, a final image of Kelvin's defiant light in his mind. But the end did not come. A song erupted in the void, a chord of creation so powerful it shook the foundations of reality. The ethereal whale's eyes, vast galaxies of calm, snapped open. They were no longer serene. They were twin supernovas of incandescent rage. The whale sang one pure, perfect note. It was not a sound, but a command issued to the universe. The entropy beam simply ceased to be, unwoven from existence. The harvester's weapon went silent, its darkness erased by a single, resonant tone. The song continued, and the great harvester began to fray at the edges. The biomechanical leviathan dissolved, not in fire and fury, but like a sandcastle against a cosmic tide. It simply came apart, its monstrous form turning into a glittering nebula of harmless, drifting stardust. And then there was silence. The whale's eyes softened back into gentle galaxies. "You have protected the path," it hummed into their minds. "And for that, you shall know its destination." On David's console, the unreadable symbols resolved into a perfect, elegant star chart, pointing to a place beyond the known galactic rim, a place of peace. David looked over at Kelvin, who had joined him on the bridge, her energy spent but her spirit bright. He smiled, a true, weary smile. He didn't need to give an order. They both knew the Dominion's next destination. They were taking their friend home,